Hello, my name is Julie Nguyen. I'm going to be doing a speech on fired over Facebook, people who have gotten terminated or dismissed over their social media platform. This is my audience. You guys have to wave hi, share, get in. Okay. So being fired over Facebook. Now we're going to begin with a raise of hands. How many of you guys actually have a full-time or part-time job? Okay. And then out of you guys, how many do you have a social media platform, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, one of the above? Okay, so majority of the room obviously has some sort of social media, and everyone here has a full-time or part-time job. Now, for my topic, I'm going to speak to you guys about people who have gotten fired over venting or complaining through their social media platform. Being that people say we have a freedom of speech, why am I getting terminated? And I'll tell you why. Freedom of speech only protects so much. Being that you have a social media platform, you have to remember that there are certain things that you can and cannot say once you've signed a contract to work for certain companies or corporations. I'm going to give you some examples now of people who have in the past been terminated from different jobs or different positions due to their posts on social media between Facebook and Twitter and Instagram or any other form that can be viewed publicly by their employer. Back in March of 2011, we had a shipwreck worker who said something on the sort of her employer was discriminative and she called him a racist name. Being that her employer was not as a friend on her Facebook, she did have coworkers who felt like this needed to be presented to HR. HR came in, reviewed her post, she then got terminated. She took it to court, she fought it as, this is my freedom of speech, I have the right to say what I said about my supervisor. But the thing is, freedom of speech only protects you so much. When you sign a contract with an employer, you basically are saying that I agree to not defame this company or this employer because I am not representing you as a unit, as a whole. And this particular person didn't think much of that when she wanted to exercise her freedom of speech. Another example is we had a nurse back in 2013 in Sacramento, California, who actually spoke about one of her patients. It was a 15-year-old boy that was shot unarmed by a police officer, and she, because of her own personal reasons, said the boy deserved it. Now, some people have different opinions. Other people may agree, may not agree. But the fact that she tried to fight that, saying that that is my own personal right to speak about my views, she lost the court. Everyone ruled against her because of the simple fact that this is not about you anymore. This is about a bigger picture. You are a nurse. You take care of patients regardless of skin color, regardless of ethnicity, nationality. But she took it something, to a personal level. She voiced her opinion on social media. Everyone took it to her supervisor and the boss of the hospital. She then tried to get a GoFundMe account to start to pay for her bills because now her reputation has been tarnished. No hospital would hire her. People who go to her supervisors or anyone who's worked with her in a management position have asked for referrals. No one would give it. Only because of this one comment that she made through social media. Now with social media, people have said a lot of things that are just venting for the moment. They're angry, they're upset. But they don't realize that that moment can change your entire life. Another example is back in 2001, here in the States, we had an African-American woman who was a shipyard worker as well. She had an altercation with her boss, and because he was of Caucasian descent, she said, you must be part of the Klansmen. Now, maybe her boss treated her differently. Maybe personally she had a reason to say what she said. But because she posted on her Twitter account, it not only got her fired, it got her banned from a lot of job opportunities because this was a very large company that she worked for. And those are just some of the few reasons why I feel like a lot of people don't realize that when you have social media, it really can affect your overall livelihood. We all have things that we need to say and get off our chest after a long day of work, but we don't realize that sometimes those things that we say through social media can truly affect who we work for and who we are friends with and who our family members are, because trail and be an embarrassment to not only your friends but to your family and relatives. Now, I'm going to show you some of the slides I have here. I chose to put these slides together because this here shows that two of the biggest conglomerates of social media is Facebook and the Twitter, meaning the Twitterberg. These two companies are the biggest things out as of yet for our millennials. These are the two platforms that most people use to socialize, to network, to engage in. And these are the two biggest platforms that people have gotten fired also from. Some of these examples here I've listed were from Twitter and Facebook, between people complaining about their coworkers, to complaining about their jobs, or complaining about a supervisor or a boss or attendant. These are some of the examples, and it didn't even have to have any slang or any curse words. It was just merely venting, and the fact that they expressed they hated someone or they were upset with someone in particular, that it was a misrepresentation of their company. This got them terminated. So your employer has the right to actually look into all of your social media once you sign a contract that you will work for them in their department or in their overall team. So they have legal rights to actually view, if they have the reason to look and see what is going on. Now, a lot of employers will look at your social media to see whether they want to hire you or not. These are more graphs showing that some employers will not hire you based on what you post on your social media. And these are just some of the examples here that I've proven that it can also lead you to go to jail.